Well, people who support a $15 minimum wage are collecting signatures right now in downtown Portland.
15 Now PDX wants the higher minimum wage, and it does not want to wait for the 6-year phase-in the governor has proposed. Now, Cor Harlan is live near Portland State today with more on this. Cor?
That's right, Jenny and Ken. This is a much quicker phase-in of the $15 or so minimum wage here. This group is collecting signatures in and around Portland State today and for the coming days here, trying to qualify a $15 minimum wage for this November's ballot. Given the cost of living here in Portland, what you heard from the governor yesterday may have been encouraging, but a little bit of weak sauce, essentially, right?
Yeah, essentially. The governor's proposal, I think, is a step up from what we've seen so far out of the proposals that are coming into the 2016 session. But a 6-year phase-in is really entirely too long.
I learned today from the University of Oregon Labor and Education Research Center that 400,000 Oregonians do low-wage work. And partly because of that, the group says demand for public services in Oregon is at a record high, and that 1 million Oregonians need help with food stamps to feed their families. Governor Brown turned up the volume on the discussion for a $15 an hour plus minimum wage this week, but the group 15 Now PDX says it wants the wage to take effect much sooner, phased in over a 3-year period instead of the governor's proposed 6-year phase-in.
And the cost of living is rising here really exponentially, and not just with housing, but with food and tuition costs and general entertainment and all costs of living. In 6 years, I don't see that being any different.
Some have argued for the slower phase of the minimum wage, acknowledging the difficulties it might cause for small businesses.
I do think minimum wage should be raised, but that's a big jump, and I think maybe a incremental jump would be a little bit better.
They've collected about 30,000 signatures so far. They need 88,000 by July 1st to qualify their measure for the faster phase-in of a higher minimum wage for this November's ballot. So some people want a slower phased-in minimum wage. Some people want no minimum wage increase at all. Some business groups that negotiated with the governor to try and get some legislation together here say that the governor's proposal ignores what they call a gateway wage for teenagers and first-time workers who they say may not be worth $15 an hour to hire. They say this proposal from the governor too labor-friendly and puts too much of a burden on small business. Ken and Jenny, this is a discussion that will be taken up in the legislature. There's no doubt about that, and it will be likely to qualify for a ballot measure this coming November. So a lot yet to discuss in terms of a higher minimum wage. Jenny and Ken?
Yeah, a lot.